What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to do a Social Security update. We're going to take a look at the COLA increase projections for 2026. So that's what we're going to focus on. I'm going to show you some information from the Senior Citizens League, and then I'm going to go over the calendar, and I want to show you exactly what they're looking for when it comes to that cost of living adjustment. So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video, and if you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, so let's go right over. Now, the first thing that I want to take a look at is I want to take a look at the projections. So the Senior Citizens League, they're projecting right now, we're looking at a 2.4% increase for people receiving Social Security, okay? Now, what they're basing this on, they're basing this on the Consumer Price Index for wage earners, so the CPIW. Now, I'll show you both the CPI and the CPIW in a minute, but I just wanted to show you right now, this is what the projection is. And when we're going back and looking at past history, this will be the lowest since 2021. 2021, it was 1.3. So if we do see a 2.4% COLA increase, it's going to be on the low end when it comes to COLA increases. Now, when it comes to COLA, you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword there. Do you want it to be higher? If you want that number to be higher, that means inflation is going to be higher because inflation is the gauge that they're using. So if it's lower, that means inflation is lower. So you can get a bigger increase, but you're going to have to pay it. Basically, it's going to be offset by inflation, and that's the whole reason for this cost of living adjustment. It's to keep you up with the rise in inflation. Okay, and how are they getting this information? They're getting this information from the third quarter. So they're using July, August, and September. They're taking the CPIW from those 3 months, and then they're calculating it and then giving you the information. And generally, they will give it in October. It's usually like the second week of October. That's when they will announce what COLA will be for 2026. Now, COLA won't start until the end of December. SSI usually gets theirs first, and then the rest of the beneficiaries will get it in January. So SSI in December, the end of December, and then in January, everyone else. Okay, so now let's take a look. I want to show you guys this. This is a calendar for 2025, and what I've done is I'm showing you guys at the top here, this is CPI, and this is CPIW. Now, the calculations aren't exactly the same. They're different. Okay, because CPI is overall, and the CPIW is for wage earners and clerical staff. So it's targeted towards them. So it's a little bit different. And right now, they're in Congress, they've been talking about this for a while now. They want to change the CPIW to the CPIE. So the CPI for the elderly. That better reflects how elderly people spend money. Okay, if we're looking at the CPIW, that's for wage earners and clerical staff. If you're working, you spend money differently than if you are retired. And so that's why they want to use the CPIE, because it's a better reflection of seniors. And so when we're looking at a cost of living adjustment, we should be looking at the CPIE because it better reflects the spending habits of seniors. And the CPIW doesn't. So they haven't made this change. Hopefully they'll make this change in the near future. Now, it's not going to be drastic when it comes to the numbers, but it will change based on the spending that, you know, the way elderly people spend money. And just for an example, elderly people spend more money on housing. They spend more money on healthcare. And so because of that, the CPIE would better reflect it. If you're using the CPIW, wage earners, clerical staff, you might have people who are young. They might not own a house. They might not be renting. They might be living with their parents. And so their spending habits are going to be a little bit different. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. So January, we saw CPI at 3%. We also saw the CPIW at 3%. Looking at February, we saw CPI at 2.8%. And we also saw CPIW at 2.7%. Now, in March, we saw CPI at 2.4%, and we saw the CPIW at 2.2%. And then in April, we saw the CPI at 2.3%, and then the CPIW at 2.1%. Now, that being said, we can cross this out because this is not what they will be using to calculate COLA. They're going to be using these bottom numbers here. Okay, now they're not using these exact numbers because we're going to be taking July, August, and September. That's what they're going to be taking. So once we start getting those, and I'll keep the same calendar, so we'll come back to it. But once we start getting that information, then we'll be able to have a better idea of what COLA is going to look like for 2026. And so this will come out. Usually it's like the second week of June. So we'll get that information. I'll plug that in, and then we have June. So we have 2 months really that need to be calculated before we start seeing what we're going to be looking at for COLA in October. October, as I stated, like usually it's like the second week, so it'll be around this time sometime where we'll find out more information. It'll probably be on the 13th, and usually it happens at the beginning of the week, so we'll get more information on that later. Okay, and I want to answer just one question because I saw this and I wanted to talk a little bit about it. It says, and this is from 7884 Chris, and he says, "Hi David, thank you for the video, but I'm wondering what happened to Friday polls." So usually I was doing the polls on Monday, and I am going to go back to that now. I did some, and when I do videos for you guys, I base it on the view count. If you guys are watching it, then I will continue to do it. If the views are really down, then sometimes I will just phase it out and I won't continue to do it. But it is something that I like doing. I like looking at the polls to see how people feel the direction the country is going, how they feel, as far as the job approval of the president, Congress, all that. I like to look at that because it gives us an idea of how people are really feeling about what's going on. I also incorporate Social Security and retirement, those different topics in it as well. So I'll look at some of those different polls. And so I will be going back to that. So on Monday, we will be putting out some more polls, and I think I'll do it every Monday from here on out. And also the live streams. I talked about I was going to be doing more live streams. I just got another computer now, so I need to get that all set up, and then we'll start doing those live streams. I just didn't have a computer that was capable of doing live streams. I don't know if you guys have watched any of my live streams, but this was a few months ago, I did a live stream, and during the live stream, my computer just shut down. It got too hot and shut down, so that's why I had to upgrade, get another computer. And so we'll be getting those live streams going very, very soon. So if you guys have any questions about anything I discussed today, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.